The world mind says hello, too.
Haha, what's happening? JayShockblast here, and check it out. We are on that Marvel Heroes Omega on PlayStation 4. Hang tight, Xbox guys. It's coming soon. They don't have an official date, but it will be on Xbox before you know it. This is the closed beta for Marvel Heroes Omega on PlayStation 4. And the first thing I want to point out is the fact that it is a closed beta. So you have to have an invite of some sort to get into it. So we'll get into that more in a little bit and what the difference between open and closed beta is. But first, I just wanted to talk about for a second some of the streams I've been doing lately and some of the videos I've been posting in support of Marvel Heroes Omega. And it's been a lot of fun, and there's been a lot of questions, and there have been a lot of people that have come into the videos and the forum or the comments, and they've been asking me a lot of questions about why this happens and why you can't do this and all sorts of stuff. And finally got to the point where somebody's actually asked me to do like an FAQ, frequently asked questions, or just a guide in general, like a beginner's guide to Marvel Heroes. I haven't decided what I'm going to call the video yet, but that's what I'm going to try to do here. I'm doing this all in one take. I know I could edit this up and everything, but that's not my style. My style is just to kind of give you everything from the heart, so I apologize for any fumbles in advance. So, open beta versus closed beta. One of the biggest questions I've received so far is, why do I have to pay money for a free-to-play game? Well, here's the thing. We're in closed beta. So part of what they've decided to do for closed beta is reward people for purchasing the founder packs. Think of the closed beta as early access. In order to get early access, you have to get your hands on a promotional key through one of the many, I wouldn't say sponsors, but partners, if you will, that Marvel Heroes has teamed up with, and or purchase a Founders Pack. There are a number of Founder packs available. Let's see if I can actually get to them right now in the store. So we go to the PlayStation Store, which was running slowly earlier, and there are 5 Founder Packs, I believe, and they're not necessarily the easiest to get to, but let's see. Let's say new. And when we go into the store, you can see all. I didn't want to have to type it all in, but we might have to. Here we go. Perfect. So here you have the Avengers Founders Pack. It's $59.99. And it gives you quite a bit to work with. You get Hulk, you get Black Widow, you get Iron Man, you get Captain America, and you get Thor. And you also get Hawkeye. In addition, you get 6 bonus costumes. You get 1 costume for each of them. And then on top of that, you get some bonus G where you can buy other characters. There's also an X-Men pack somewhere. And in the X-Men pack, you actually get Wolverine, Jean Grey, Storm, Beast, Iceman, and Psylocke. Also for the same price, $59.99. Then there's the Deadpool pack, which and the Spider-Man pack, which are $19.99. The War Machine bundle, which is a PlayStation Plus exclusive, which is $17.99. And then the Guardians of the Galaxy pack, which is $39.99. So, and if you buy all of them, you get Iron Fist and the Symbiote Spider-Man costume. So keep that in mind. Now, obviously, if you want to just get involved right away and start, these 3 packs right here are the best ones for you. I personally recommend the Deadpool pack. I think he is one of the 2 best players in the game right there with Nova, or characters, I should say. Obviously, Nova and Deadpool are 2 of my favorite characters, period. But Deadpool and Hulk are probably like the 2 most overpowered players in the game as far as I'm concerned. But if you like Spider-Man, definitely grab the Spider-Man pack. And then this is the cheapest way for you to get in. So the cool thing is, I think the Avengers pack or the X-Men pack, those are the best values. So even though they're more expensive, you're getting 6 characters for your $60 versus, 1 for $20. Plus, you're getting the bonus G. With the bonus G, you should be able to purchase at least 3 other characters. Maybe if you decide to get Deadpool and like another one of the premium characters, you can only get 2. But I don't know. I think you get like $20 worth of G. So you should be able to get quite a few extra characters. So that is something to definitely consider. All the things that you purchased in the beta, the closed beta, stay with you. All of your bonus G gets refunded to you. Yes, on the 16th, all your stats will erase. They will reset, and that's just something you're going to have to consider. The whole purpose of doing the closed beta is to test the game out and help them figure out what exactly is wrong with the game and help them make it better so that when it does get to the final release, that everything is working as smoothly as possible. So that is why you would want to test the game early access. So if you're worried about your stats wiping, just be patient and wait for the 16th, and all the stats carry over from closed beta, from open beta to the full game. So that's something you want to consider. Anything that you purchase with actual money, you get to keep. So don't be alarmed with spending your money. You're not going to lose these characters once the closed beta is over. They all stick with you. So the only ones that you will lose are the ones that you buy with Eternity Splinters. So Eternity Splinters, if we can go into inventory, we'll go to currency. Right here, you see I have 160 Eternity Splinters. These are little shards that are going to break off whenever you defeat various enemies. They'll happen every so often, and you can use those Eternity Splinters to play the game completely for free. Okay? It's going to take a lot of grinding, and you're going to have to be patient, but it is attainable. And you can certainly purchase characters. As you can see, like with Black Panther right here, you can purchase him for 900 G, which is basically $9, or 400 Eternity Splinters. Now, I've played about 12 hours or so of the closed beta, and I'm up to 160. So that's going to tell you about how long it's going to take to earn these characters for free. There are a few characters, very few, that are 200 Eternity Splinters. I think those characters change from time to time. I think I've actually already purchased 2 of them. One of them being, I think Nova is 200. Squirrel Girl is 200, who I have no intention of buying. And listen, you gotta let me get my jokes in on Squirrel Girl. And I think Thor is the other one, who is a great hero to buy. So you want to, or actually I think Angela might be one, who, again, amazing hero to buy. So those are some of the things you want to consider if you want to play the game for free. A lot of people have been asking about Daredevil. Daredevil will be in the game with the launch, and I think they're going to add him with the open beta. Daredevil is going to be a starter character. So Daredevil is the character they are giving out to everybody essentially for free. Once you beat the prologue for the first time, you will end up getting 400 Eternity Splinters, to which you can certainly buy just about any character that you want. There are a couple characters that are premium, like Iron Man and like Deadpool, and I think Jean Grey is also one of the premium characters that cost 600 Eternity Splinters. Actually, I think Rocket Raccoon is as well. So keep that in mind. Those are things that you're going to have to either save up for or, just consider throwing them a couple bucks. Keep in mind that even though the game is free to play, it does encourage you to spend money. I mean, there's no two ways around it. All the money spending that you get is either to access a character or something purely cosmetic. In the case of Rich Rider, or Nova, I should say, I've purchased both of his costumes. So he also has his Sam Alexander Black Vortex costume. There aren't many ways to get the costumes for free, so it is what it is. So keep that in mind. If you want different costumes, they're purely cosmetic. That is the only thing that you really have to kind of pay for if you want to continue. And they range in price from like $9 to whatever if they're enhanced. Enhanced costumes essentially are costumes that there's like a different set of voice actors. They're meant specifically for that in particular character. Like they do something extra for that extra costume. So they are a little bit more expensive. As far as that, everything else is concerned, I mean, that's really the difference between open and closed beta. So if you don't want to spend money right away, I would say wait for the open beta, get your free Daredevil, and then you can pick another character for free that starts you with 2 characters. You have access to every single character up to level 10. So if you want to try characters out, you can certainly go into your roster. And, I don't have Gambit unlocked, as you can see. So I can actually hit the X button. I can try him. And just like that, I've switched to Gambit. So I don't have him. He's not mine. But I can get to level 10 with him. And then we'll have, Gambit capped. So there's a lot of ways you can play for free. Again, it's up to you how you want to do it. Something that they have on PC that I don't know if they're going to have on console is with the Eternity Splinters, there's a vendor where you can go to the vendor and you can actually purchase a random hero token. So with the random hero token, you have no idea who you're going to get. I think on PC, it's 200 Eternity Splinters, or maybe actually it might even be 180. It might be just a little bit less than your cheapest hero. So if it translates over, the benefit is you're going to get access to a new hero much quicker. The downside is you don't know who it's going to be. So you may do a random hero token and you really want Captain America, but you end up with Colossus. Another thing to consider, just because you already have the character doesn't mean you're not going to get the character again. You can get superpowers, like with Nova here. Actually, if I switch back to Nova real quick, you'll notice that when I go into his skills tab, and when we go to Ultimate, it says level 1. So if I were to get another Nova token, it would basically allow me to level his Ultimate to level 2. That makes his Ultimate much stronger and much more powerful. So that's, again, just something, it's kind of a roll of the dice. You never know what you're going to get. You could get a character you hate. You could use your Eternity Splinters and get a random character, and it ends up being Squirrel Girl. And that, for me, would be a travesty. It doesn't have to be a travesty for you. You can enjoy Squirrel Girl if you want. I've actually heard people that like her say that she is she's a fun character to play. I don't enjoy it, so that's just me. Another thing to consider, something a lot of people have asked me about is what is the quickest way to level up? And I will tell you right here, right now, the quickest way to level up is play the story. You want to get through the story as quickly as possible. All characters are going to scale to your level, so you don't have to worry about, getting stuck somewhere, like going too far. So, for instance, so here, I'm going to go to Taskmaster Institute right now. Actually, I might change that. But you want to beat it as quickly as possible, and there's a few reasons for it. Focus on one character. Actually, I want to do an op, but anyway, focus on one character. For me, I focused on Nova, all right? I've played as other characters for the purpose of streaming, but I focused mainly on Nova and got him to level 60. The reason you want to get a character to level 60 as quickly as possible is 2 things. Number 1, you get your ultimate. Well, there's a few things. Synergies. Okay, at level 25 and level 50, you get extra boost via synergies. So as you can see, I'm going to focus on War Machine next because War Machine synergies are plus 10 to, in this case, Nova Force. So it's basically 10 more spirit, and it's plus 1 to fighting attribute. So it's going to make your character that much better. You can activate up to 10 synergies, and all the different characters have different synergies available. Another benefit is it unlocks the infinity system. You need to get a character to level 60 as quickly as possible so that you can start using your infinity system. There's all these different infinity powers, and you're going to invest your points into them. With all the XP that I've earned so far, I have 12 infinity points that I have spent on, I believe, reality. No. What did I spend it on? Space? Well, I can't remember what I spent it on. Give me a second here. Maybe it's the mind. Yeah, mind. So I invested it here so I could get plus 30 extra Nova Force. So each point you spend, you're going to get all these different benefits. And if you look on the far right, it also tells you that when you spend a certain amount of points in each power, you get these extra attributes over here. So you want to access infinity as quickly as possible. That way all of your characters can start reaping the benefits. If I were to switch to Deadpool, which I can't do right now because I'm trying to prove another point, if I were to switch to Deadpool right now, he would have access to infinity. Your infinity is different for every character. You can customize it to how that character plays. So for Deadpool, you might say, I don't really want to invest in spirit or your bar, your energy bar. You might want to invest into the spirit. You might want to just invest in, more damage, whatever it may be. So anyway, that is one of the other reasons you want to just beat the game so that you can get up to level 60 as quickly as possible. Once you beat the game, the story mode, you also unlock the operations. As you can see on the right-hand tab where it says Lab Crash, Legendary Quests. That is a legendary quest, and I'm not doing it now, but that is another reason you want to unlock. You want to beat the actual story mode. Those legendary quests are going to help you level up the fastest. They give you the most XP, and you'll just bounce around place to place doing those. Now back to my point about beating the game. The best way to beat the game fast is to ignore everything. Literally go from point A to point B. I am going to ignore all of this fodder. There's no reason for me to play them and fight them. Yes, they are going to give me some XP, but it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. We don't need it. We just want to go ahead and get out of story mode. So the fastest way to do it is just to put on your... Once you get to level 10, you can use your kind of like speed rush. And I can... Since I have a character that flies, I can just fly over everybody. And I'm just going to go straight to Taskmaster. I have no... obviously, I'm a 60, but I have no benefit of fighting any of these people. So I'm going to go straight to Taskmaster, and I'm going to fight him. And that is going to make it so much easier. So if you just do that, you will get through the story mode really fast. And the real benefit is actually in beating... Like, getting the rewards for beating the level. Beating all these characters is great, but you're going to get a ton of XP once you beat each individual level. So, you take advantage of, beating Taskmaster here and all of that. Pressing down will let you just go right back to base. So, I assure you, just rush through the story the first time. Get through the story so that you can unlock the option to access your legendary quests. So for the legendary quest, it wants me to do operations, and it wants me to go to Sinister Lab. So when I go to Sinister Lab, and I'm just going to rush through this as well. When I go to Sinister Lab, it tells me that there's a couple things it wants me to do in order to get credit for it. It wants me to defeat the 50 cyborg Reavers, and it wants me to destroy 5 tech barrels, and then it wants me to defeat Mr. Sinister. So upon doing that, I'm going to get a ton of XP. I'm not going to do it now just because I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible while covering as much as possible. So that is the fastest way that you can level up and the fastest way you can start unlocking benefits for everybody. So we're back here at Professor X's school, and I can show you that if I go into roster and I go to Deadpool,
Hold on. Forgot my theme music.
and if I go into skills, it's going to show you that I have Infinity unlocked for Deadpool. So I have 12 points that I can spend. And, you know, for Deadpool, I don't usually have problems with his resources. So I might end up deciding I want to add, well, I can't actually do that. I was going to say I want to add 1 to fighting, you know, but I don't actually have enough for that quite yet. So you can spend those resources or save them as much as you want, but Infinity unlocks for everybody once you hit 60. Once you hit 60, it usually also unlocks 1% XP bonus boost. On PC, the more characters you have at level 60, the bigger the XP boost that you get. I'm assuming that has crossed over into Marvel Heroes Omega. I don't know where you can actually find that, but I'm assuming Marvel Heroes Omega is going to play a lot like it does on PC for the most part. So having characters at 60 is really a big deal. Another thing that you'll want to do once you hit level 60, or something you'll want to consider, is you'll want to prestige. Now, somebody earlier, I saw their name and it was green. That means that they prestiged. And I don't know who actually sells. I think it's Velocity Booster. All right, there's logistics. So, engineering. Certificate of Prestige. So it's 10,000 gold. And we're going to buy that for 10,000 gold. So it's purchased. So now what I can do with Nova is I can prestige. And that is a great way to continue playing the game. And kind of, you're going to do, I mean, it's like Diablo. You're going to do things over and over again. So if I go into my inventory and I'm going to go into supplies, I'm assuming it's 1 consumable. And here we go. Use the Shield Certificate of Prestige to restart your level 60 hero at level 1 and increase your prestige level by 1. Use this in HQ. Story progression will be reset upon using the item. You may restart each hero up to 6 times and receive green, blue, purple, orange, red, and yellow colored prestige. The yellow prestige, the gold prestige, Cosmic 60, it takes 20 times longer to hit Cosmic Prestige than it does all the other prestiges. And that's the ultimate goal, is to get yourself to Cosmic level 60. So here it is. I have Prestige, and it delivers all my gear. So I got a Prestige Flourish. I'm going to retrieve it. And a Prestige Gift. Use this item to earn smaller rewards for beginning a new Prestige, a random boost, and 5 Eternity Splinters. I don't love that. It used to be that you would get a new costume. But as you can see, my name is now green. So I'm a level 1 again, but I now have a green tag over my name. So, and if we go into inventory again, supplies, let's see, crafting, no. Miscellaneous, danger, prestige gift, okay. Requires level 1. Use this item to small reward at the beginning of a new prestige. I do not meet the requirements. I am a level 1. Alright, well, we'll figure that out later. If I go into inventory also, I should now have a flourish. And as you can see, use this item to bask in the color of your prestige rank. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that prestige flourish. And I'm under the impression...
It says hello, too.
I'm not sure what exactly it does. I don't know how you actually use your flourish. I haven't quite figured that out on PC, but it'll show you off as green. But obviously, as you walk around and look at all these different, people that are walking around in the game right now, they all have. There's one green person right over there. Basically everybody is only on their white. Like they're on their first run with their characters. So constantly leveling up is going to give you the opportunity to get your character just a little bit more unique. I think I liked the rewards a little bit better on PC because you would get like another costume, and you could use 3 costumes in the grinder and get a random costume if you really wanted. But I guess they're not doing that on console. Crafting. So you saw me go to the vendors, okay? And I went to, right here we have Astros from the forums. And we can go into here and you can craft all sorts of different materials and weapons here by unlocking materials. You can also donate. So what I end up doing is when I can't use certain items, I donate them, and it's not letting me do it now because apparently you have to be a high enough level to donate. I don't know if that's a glitch. It has to be a glitch. But I can't actually donate any of that stuff. I'll probably end up stashing it for now. But the reason you want to donate to the crafters is because it's going to level them up. If you look at Brian Wagner up here, I have level 5 for him. So that's going to give you the opportunity to craft better items. I don't do a lot of crafting myself, to be completely honest with you, but this is going to give you the opportunity to make better gear if you so desire. You can also donate to John Werner over here, and it'll give him better items that you can purchase from him. The same thing goes for Caitlin Capes over here, and so on and so forth. The research and development analyst, I think usually can give you, I think this is how you, let's see, task your research analyst to begin a level 1 engineering division research project. This is another way I believe that you can level up your different vendors and whatnot. So crafting is, it's something you'll want to consider. Let's talk about the different game modes, okay? So there's a few different game modes that you can do. Obviously right here, Oh, looks like I actually still have access to my legendary missions. Okay, so legendary missions are now available once you get to level 60 for the first time with a character, it seems. This is going to be huge. This is going to make your second prestige level up way faster because you didn't have access to it until you beat the game before. So you'll level up much faster on your second prestige this way. Anyway, the different game modes. You have the story, obviously, and once you unlock the different story chapters, you're able to travel to them at any time. Operations are basically like little one-shots. At level 20, you'll be able to access those, and there's high mission rewards at the end. Different more XP, and you're basically running through certain parts of the game and other. Actually, I'm gonna switch to Deadpool real quick. So that we can look at them. There are also some areas that are not on the game. There's actually a chapter 10 on PC that's not here on console quite yet, and you can kind of play that as well. So Times Square is the Ultron battle where you can fight Ultron. There is also down at the bottom, there's Dimensions Collide where you can fight Caecilius. There's the Odin's Palace. So basically, you're going through the last level, the last part of the levels, and fighting all these different bosses that you're going to encounter during the game. Now, one thing to keep in mind, and I'll switch back to Nova for this, there are different... Oh, actually, Nova's down here as level 1 now. That's funny. One thing to consider about your game is there's trials, okay? If you want to unlock a better difficulty, oh, I can't do it, okay. If you want to unlock a higher difficulty, like if we go into story, you can see down in the bottom right corner, it says normal difficulty. There are all these extra difficulties. You've got, and each difficulty is going to give you more XP and, better items. So I went through trial and unlocked the blue difficulty, and it looks like it says recommended after story now. I think if I just leveled up a few times, it would let me do it. I think I'm just, because I'm a level 1, it's not going to. But that is how you're going to unlock harder difficulties. I've heard some people say that they feel like the game is a little easy and they can find it getting a little mundane. But that's how you do it. There are all these different HQs that you can travel to. And again, I lost some of them because I prestiged. Should have thought that through. Patrols are available. Right now, there's only Midtown Patrol. And so here you can see where I can set the difficulty. But it's locked. Heroic is locked. Super Heroic. Cosmic. Cosmic is pretty hard. But you run through the trials. Basically, fight Red Skull to get them. So you can unlock those different difficulties that way. There are 2 other patrols on PC. There's there's Midtown, and then there's Industry City, and then there's blanking on the third one, but it's a nighttime one, and it's full of scrolls. We don't have any scrolls on PC quite yet, so that is that. I think this should really cover a lot of the questions I've been seeing. Obviously, gear, you're going to want to just acquire as much gear as you can and just constantly upgrade and constantly look at the stats. As far as characters, a lot of people have been asking me, who's the best character? And obviously, my first answer is always going to be Nova and Deadpool. I think they are like the 2 best characters in the game, bar none. I love playing as them. They were the first 2 characters I hit Cosmic 60 with, and they will be the first 2 characters I hit Cosmic 60 with again. I have purchased Angela and Thor, who I love. I love both of those 2 characters. Ant-Man is one of the characters I'm working on getting to Cosmic Prestige 60 now. I've mentioned earlier that Hulk, if you like Melee, I feel like Hulk is possibly one of the most powerful characters in the game, as he should be. He's one of the few Melee characters that I love playing as, and he was one of the characters I have at Cosmic 60 as well. My other Cosmic 60 is not in the game yet. It's Ultron. I actually really like Ultron. And the next character, once I finish with Ant-Man, that I'm going to take to Cosmic 60 on PC is Black Bolt, and he's not on here yet either. Other characters that I think I can tell you are really strong. Magic, a lot of people swear that she's like the best character in the game. She's one of the most popular characters in the game, so you'd be really surprised at how well she plays. For Melee characters, I'm not usually a Melee player, but I really enjoyed Psylocke, believe it or not. She's a character I would probably buy pretty quickly. Storm is a very strong character. She used to be one of the starting characters you could choose, and a lot of people play as her, and she can be very, very powerful. As much as I dislike Squirrel Girl, I've heard people say that she plays really well and she's very strong in the game, but I don't want to give her much credit. I know Scarlet Witch is very popular and she plays very well. Characters that I don't really enjoy, Colossus is not my favorite. Blade is not my favorite. And it's not because Blade is not strong. A lot of people that swear by Blade love Blade. They think he's one of the strongest characters in the game. There's a mechanic that he has, which I think is like Bloodlust, where you have to like constantly like, give him a boost of like blood or something, and otherwise you die. I mean, his health is like constantly depleting, and look, I get it. It makes it interesting. It's just not my style. So I think if you're looking for a really fun, challenging character to play, I think you'll really enjoy Blade, because he's not just, cue it up and go. Like I said, Ant-Man is a lot of fun. Captain Marvel plays a lot like Nova. So if you enjoy Nova, if you take my advice and play Nova, which I hope you do, Captain Marvel's a great choice. True story, Agent M was streaming the other day, and there are only like 10 people watching. And if you don't know who Agent M is, he's like Marvel's social media guru. And he asked who he should play as, and I said Nova. And it just so happened that one of the other people said Nova. And I was just saying, look, Nova's my favorite character in the game. I think he's the best. And he fell in love with Nova like while he was playing. And it was one of my proudest moments. I took a screenshot where I also begged him to give Rich Rider his own book. But I digress. Other than that, all the characters have their benefits. Luke Cage is not my favorite. I don't really like Punisher much either. He might play different on console, so I'm going to give them a chance at some point. A lot of people really say that Hawkeye is really good. And one of the things I like about Hawkeye is he has a power that, like, on hit regenerates spirit. and that has been very helpful for me. I actually take off his free, like you have a free power. Usually it's the default X power. It doesn't cost any spirit, and I will actually take off that free one and replace it with the one that, you know, it regenerates on hit, and I've never had a problem. So I think that's a pretty good start. I think the best thing to do is keep in mind that you need a little bit of two things. Number one, you need patience. And number two, you need to speed your way through things. Okay? You need patience if you want to play the game for free and you don't want to spend a ton of money on the game. You need patience and wait for the open beta, or you need to have patience and wait for Eternity Splinters. That is definitely just something to really keep in mind. And then you need to just speed through, beat the story. Don't worry about the other stuff. Don't even worry about like fighting, you know, different people. Just beat the story. I'll go right in here to chapter 1. We'll go to Hell's Kitchen South. Just beat the story. Get through it as quickly as you can. I skip cutscenes unless I'm in a stream. And we will get here. And I will literally, when I'm playing the story, it's like I'm doing a speed run. I can't fly right now, so until I get to level 10, I can't like literally speed through, but I will basically do the absolute minimum amount possible. Am I really stuck? I'll do the minimum amount possible just so I can get through. Once you've done that, you unlock all the other possibilities. Most importantly, the infinity system. So that's what you really want to do. And you also want to make sure that you have the legendary quests unlocked as soon as possible. So I might have missed some things, but I really think, you know, at this point, it's a long video. I understand that. I really feel like this is a good start. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you.